Hey everyone, welcome to Finance Talk. Yet another episode on February 24th of 2018. I welcome you this morning if you're on the West Coast, and if you're on the East Coast, it is 1 p.m. around our time here. Today's going to be a very good episode. I'd like to share with you a couple of insightful information and some strategies that will give you some clarity in terms of how to fix your personal credit as well as what you need to do in order to obtain business financing. This is our goal today at Finance Talk. So we can start beginning our presentation to move forward. So let's go over what are some of the points we're going to be discussing today, and more importantly, what you will be learning. The first thing is we're going to talk about the credit repair secrets that no one wants you to know, and that includes the credit reporting agencies as well as the credit repair companies out there that are attempting to take over your file. We also talk about how to get personal funding, both creatively and by using your personal credit as well. We discuss how you fund a business, especially when it's just an idea. A lot of people want to know this because a lot of people are confused when they reach out to those financial prospects, the people who are investors out there, and they go and do it the wrong way. And unfortunately, because of the way they're not prepared, they either get declined or they don't have any interest whatsoever. So we're going to go and tackle some of that for you today. We also talk about funding a business when you're at an early stage. This is important because it's not about an idea anymore. You already executed a business plan. You're already up and running. You made a few deals already or made a few sales. And at this stage, you're basically looking to grow. We also talk about funding a business when you're growing. Now, this is very important. This is a stage where you absolutely need some credit. You need to have business credentials built. You need to make sure that your business is growing if it's going to survive. It's the strategy on building wealth, and we're going to discuss that on that specific slide. We also go and talk about how to fund a business when your company is mature. At this stage, you're looking for upwards of $5 million and you're looking at an investment banking route. But how do you go about doing it the right way so you don't fail? So we discussed that as well today. And of course, ultimately, we finish off by telling you how you can get proper mentoring to fuel your financial potential. You need this if you want to be successful in the areas of finance and personally when it comes to financial transformation as well. So let's begin by talking about the credit repair secrets that nobody wants you to know and what they are. So the first thing you want to understand is like obviously there's a lot of credit repair companies out there, and those people who are trying to sell you all sorts of garbage. Some of them are selling you letter templates that you can do it yourself, and of course people have luck. They succeed. They can be very good at what they do, and then they reach out to those credit reporting agencies by submitting these letter templates. And unfortunately, sometimes they come out verified and they come back like we're no longer going to be looking at this for investigation because we already disputed this multiple times and it kept coming back verified. So what do you do then, right? So you have to be careful. So let's talk about some of these secrets, okay? So one of the biggest things I'd like to break as a myth is that there was really no magic way of doing it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we have the system, the Metro 2 compliance and all that kind of garbage, okay? End result is, okay, they're a multi-billion-dollar organization. All three credit bureaus, they don't care about who has Metro 2 or whatnot. Metro 2 is for people who are reporting consumer data to the reports. They pay for that, okay? So when they pay for that, it means that they're a creditor and they have to go through a strict, rigorous approval process to become a creditor. And credit repair agencies and people out there, I mean, they don't have the capability to fix that through a Metro 2 system because that means they have to tap into every single creditor that's out there that's using this electronic system. So it's, excuse my language, BS. Don't believe in anything. Don't buy into it, okay? So there was really no magic way of doing it. Another myth I'd like to break is the 609 letters. A lot of people say, oh, I got the 609. It works. Handwrite your letters and just send it in and you're good. It's not true. Okay. In fact, I'll tell you something that most probably, a lot of people won't tell you this because they don't know what's happening. Once you send those 609 letters and it's like very generic and it states those legal statutes and all that kind of stuff, what's going to happen is your letter is going to be put in a different pile. Okay. Your letter is going to be put in a different pile. It's going to probably get ignored, or most probably a lot of items will come back verified. And the credit reporting agencies are more strict with 609 letters. So you got to be very, very careful. Okay. So don't just take any templates off and just submit it because you're probably going to get yourself in more trouble than do yourself any good. And of course, a lot of people try to do the identity theft methods, with an affidavit and all that stuff. Look, if you go to a police report and then you write it up, and if the credit reporting agencies investigate and the creditors decide that, hey, look, this is something that we issued, we have proof, and they go through like different type of softwares and check systems and all these type of things, and they figure that, yeah, it is you who actually did submit those applications, and you lied on your police report, it's a felony. You can go to jail. Do you want to risk that? Of course not, right? So be careful. Don't do that. Don't do that. And of course, like those people who are downloading these templates on the internet, it's basically rewritten from old letters and they're being passed around and they're really useless. Okay. And I say this because a lot of clients come to me and say, oh, I try to fix my own credit and they keep coming back verified and the credit reporting agencies won't do anything anymore, and all that kind of stuff. Look, there's ways in which we can reinitiate those kind of processes. But if you put yourself like in a situation where you downloaded templates and wrote your name on it and just like copy pasted account numbers and account names and sent it off to the credit reporting agencies, you're actually landing yourself in a lot of trouble. You have to be careful. Disputing is very, very custom. It has to be custom to your particular situation. Okay. It has to be very unique to your unique circumstances. Also, if you try to add too much legal material in your letters, okay, like, according to this, according to that, this section 609, section, 601, whatever, right? What's going to happen is the credit bureaus will probably ignore you and they'll probably put you like in a different pile, like I said, and they will have a field day with your personal file. They will laugh their ass off. Excuse my language. And the reason I say that, it's because one of the biggest things you need to understand is because you're not a lawyer, okay, unless you are, by the way, and you have, attorney letterhead and you're serious and you send a demand letter. Unless you're that, your legal means nothing to the credit bureaus. Their cost of doing business is dragging you into court and making sure they destroy your financial reputation. Okay, so unless you want to risk that and you want to have a situation where you have to show up in court to fight it and contest it, and they will most probably end up winning, then don't do this. Okay, don't do this. Don't put too much legal material in your letters, especially if it's the first time disputing. Look, if it's a second round, third round, then go with the letters that they sent you back. Correspond. It's all about correspondence. It's not about a generic template anymore. You always have to correspond based on whatever information they said. It's like a game of chess. Okay, so you have to work very strategically. So that's important. Now let's talk about how to get personal funding, right? Like hopefully I give you some insights on credit repair and some of the secrets that a lot of people are not telling you out there, but let's talk about the personal funding and how to do it the right way. The first thing you can always do, and this is a creative strategy, is you can actually pledge your own assets if you have any, and then you can get a secured line or a line of credit or a loan. And this essentially means that, look, if you have assets like a home or car or even gold, you can pledge those in order to get a secured loan. And what that means is, let's say a home equity line of credit could work, a car loan, against your car. Of course, hopefully your car is clear and free of any liens or judgments. And of course, you can, pretty much pledge real gold, physical gold, if you have it at hand. You can actually go to a financial institution and then they can actually issue a loan against that. And in most cases, they won't give you a lot of money, maybe a portion of that, but it has to have some market value. So what I mean by market value is they can actually go next day and sell it in auction and recuperate their loss. That's what I mean by market value, and potential. Also, if you have 401ks, stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, then you can actually go and pledge those financial assets to borrow against them through investment banking channels. Whoever issues you those stocks, bonds, or mutual funds on their book entry level, whoever has them, whether it's Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, typically you can get around 30 to 40% loan to value on those items, depending on what kind of mutual funds they are, what kind of bonds or stocks you have, hopefully blue chip stocks and all these type of things. You can actually get a loan against that as well. Now, of course, we always talk about you can borrow based on your personal credit, especially if your score is good and you have a good credit history. That's, of course, the best way to go about this if you don't have any assets and you build your credibility through that proper channel. Now, let's discuss the idea of funding a business. Now, a lot of people have been asking me this question lately, and I guess I want to answer this question in a very systematic way because I want to demonstrate to you the different stages of a business that you can be in and what kind of funding will apply to you and what kind of funding you should actually go for. So let's start beginning with the idea of a business. Like if you have an idea and you want to create a business, what do you do and how do you do it? So the first thing is, like, typically you have to have a very strong foundation for your business, right? You have to have a very strong foundation. If you don't have foundation in your business, if it doesn't make any sense, it's probably not worth pursuing. And you need to portray that foundation, the strength. You need to portray it, that it'll be successful, and you have to back it up with substantial facts, data, proof, as well as validation that the business you're trying to launch will meet the demand of the market, right? If the market doesn't buy into what you have, the probability of failure is very high. But if the market is looking for something that you have or the idea that you want to execute, the probability of success is high. So you want to go with all these type of concepts, and You got to put together the facts. You got to put together the data. You have to go out in the market, do your research. You have to show proof. And of course, validate that your idea will work. And by demonstrating that the market is actually looking for that. And in almost all the cases, you absolutely will need some money, or at least 10 to 20% of your own money, to demonstrate to either the lenders or the investors that you have skin in the game. Because nobody wants to fund an idea with somebody else's money, especially an investor. If I were to look at an idea and I see, okay, well, this person has a great idea, but he's not willing to put his own money down. Why would I back him? Why would I take my risk on somebody who's not even willing to put his own money where his mouth is, right? So we have to be very, very careful with that. So typically, you want to have at least between 10 to 20% of your own money in the idea of starting a business. That means skin in the game. And of course, there are other processes and protocols that you need to have in place prior to even engaging in discussions with potential lenders or investors. And this is what we call seed money, right? You need a proper system and all sorts of other things and documents that you have to prepare. And remember one very important thing, okay? When it's still an idea, the probability that you'll get more than 100 to 200,000 is very low, okay? Because you have to start small. A lot of people think that they have an idea and they can just launch it and they'll get 5 to 10 million or even $100 million. Well, they're very, very wrong. Okay, that's not how it works. Now let's move on. Now let's say that you're funding a business and you're at an early stage, right? We went from idea to concept, and right now we basically have an early stage company. And this means that by this stage, your business has made some sales. It has the potential to grow based on the right systems. And here's something important, okay? Most people believe that it's money that will solve the problem and that they believe that it will help them grow. Well, let me tell you something. That's the wrong approach. Okay. Your approach should be that you're getting your investors or potential lenders to finance the system that will support the growth of your business. Once again, finance the system that will support the growth of your business. This is very important. It's not about the money, it's about the system. If the system's strong and the infrastructure demands growth, it will attract the right capital. Okay. So when you approach it in that angle, investors and lenders are more curious and it's all of a sudden about the business and no longer about you. So people love the idea of backing potential and growth, right? Because nothing beats that like a well-defined, proven system that you can demonstrate, hey, look, this works. And we just need financial backing to make it grow exponentially. And people, I guarantee you, will jump all over that as long as proven. It's a conceptual process that has been well defined. The research was done. You already made a few sales, and it looks like there is substantial potential in the marketplace. This is the time that you want to get financing for the system to help you grow your business. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now we're funding a business when you're growing. Okay, let's hoping that you have some investors or lenders that actually backed you, and now your business is growing. You actually help back a system properly. And at this stage, it means that you have implemented a successful system and your business is experiencing substantial growth. Okay. Your business is experiencing substantial growth. And by now, you will need capital to support the growth infrastructure. And this probably means that you'll need to hire the people, the staff, the experts to maintain those growth initiatives. As your infrastructure grows, then you'll probably need very large quantities of capital. Now, at this stage, most people are probably looking between $1 million or up to $5 million. That's the average we've seen thus far based on our markets and the people and the businesses that we've assisted personally. But traditionally, financing in this level, traditional financing such as bank channels are more of a favorable option. It's because you have low interest rates and your business can potentially sustain it because of the income it's generating. And on top of that, you don't at least have to give up any equity or shares for your business, which is very, very good. Okay. Now let's go on to the next slide. Now, let's say that your business grew. Okay, you're facing substantial growth. You're very profitable. You've had successful financing. Now this is the dream of most entrepreneurs. Okay, this is the dream for most entrepreneurs. At this stage, you're looking for substantial capital, either to exit this business and walk away with a fortune or substantial wealth, or you're looking to invite over a potential financial partner, which is considered an investor, to help support your company so that it grows into an 8 to 10 figure business model. Okay, this is very, very important. Now, you're expected to give up some equity at this stage. It's because either you're selling the whole thing, so you're giving up 100% of your shares, or You want to invite interest from financial powerhouses, right? And these are investors that you're going to be attracting who have significant financial capability. Now, it's typically normal that you give up between 15 to 30% of your equity at this stage, but it's well worth it, right? Because you're able to negotiate your terms at this stage, not only because your business is attractive financially, but also systematically as well, right? And most people who are at this stage, at the maturity stage, they ask for between 10 million or more, and it can go as high as 100 million plus dollars. And the reason I say that, it's because they have the support system, they have the infrastructure, they have a proven concept, it's a maturity, the growth has been substantiated, it's evident, it's been validated. And now it's just a question of negotiating the right terms and putting together the right infrastructure so you can build it into an 8 to 10 figure business model. Okay. So that's how it is. And just to define the roadmap of how substantial capital is built into your business structure is, first you start with an idea, like I said, and you're looking for between 100 to 200,000. And typically that can take anywhere between 1 to 2 years. I say 0 to 2 years. It's because from idea to concept, as you're launching, it can take up to 2 years. Okay. Now, as you're in the early stage, you're proven your business model, you've sold a few items and services, and it looks like it has substantial growth. You're looking between 500,000 to $1 million, and that, to get those kind of capital, can take you anywhere between 2 to 3 years, right? And past that, right, as you're growing, as you have the right infrastructure and systems in place, and you're growing, and you're looking for traditional financing to grow your business, and you're asking for between $1 million to $5 million. You're at that stage when you're from year 3 to 5, typically, right? Typically, you're at that stage. Now, once you are actually growing and you have substantial proven concept and a lot of clients and good sales track record, as well as a proven solid system, now you're looking for a financial exit, or you're looking for a financial partner who can back up your business to bring it into the 8 to 10 figure business model. And that can take anywhere between 5 years or more as you're growing. So this is the roadmap to how you get substantial capital. This is the way that it's broken down, and it's important that you analyze this very carefully. Take a snapshot if you have to. But people say that they can actually get to the maturity stage in one shot and all that, but it's not true. It's not the case for almost all the businesses, aside from tech companies, which come with an inflated valuation. But you want to be careful with what you're asking for. Okay. So let's begin by fueling your financial potential. Like, this is the mentoring program that I offer. We talk about how to fix your credit. We also build business that comes with credit in about 6 months. And you plan your business at this time. You build a foundation for your mission. We work together on that so that we can prepare for financial capital down the road, especially if it's a good business model. And if not, then we talk about how you can make it great. We also talk about how to go through a financial transformation that goes beyond credit. And this means absolutely being prepared to attract the right type of capital on every stage of your business. And of course, I talk about how you can become more financially confident, right? We acquire the knowledge and help you with the skills to make you more informed, as well as how to make powerful financial decisions as you're growing. To get this type of mentoring, you can go to bestcreditresources.com/mentoring. Once again, that's bestcreditresources.com/mentoring. And once again, that was the presentation for today. I really thank you for being here today. If you have any feedback, comments, or questions in particular to either the business funding side that I just demonstrated to you, or personal credit, please feel free to reach out. If you want me to cover some other topics for next week that fall within the criteria of business personal credit and business financing, or even business strategy, email me at talk@bestcreditresources.com. Again, that's talk@bestcreditresources.com. I thank you for being here today. Once again, this is Ali Tarafter, your guide and mentor. I will see you next time. Bye for now.